What's up, everybody? This is your boy from the Charm City Gamer here, back with another vlog. This is my Evolution t-shirt from their 2014 reunion run. Just wanted to show that off before I get started here. Anyway, this vlog will comprise of two things. Me discussing UFC 203 and CM Punk's debut, and of course my predictions for tonight's Backlash review. Okay, so let's start with the more controversial one first. In UFC 203 with CM Punk making his MMA debut against Mickey Gall last night at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, in ironically the same place where he quit WWE in 2014. Now, nobody expected Punk to win. I mean, he was a 3-1 underdog last night, but I at least expected him to maybe take the fight a round or two. But somehow, I don't know exactly how he did it, because Gall is only 1-0 and he's 24. So he's as inexperienced as Punk is in terms of MMA. And yet, in 2 minutes and 14 seconds, he submits Punk with a rear naked choke in the first round. And I'm thinking to myself, the fuck just happened? Because Punk's been in a rear naked choke a million times in his wrestling career, so you'd think that he'd be able to handle that no problem. I mean, I know UFC isn't supposed to be, quote, scripted, but I mean, based on the pacing of that fight and everything, it just felt like it was scripted as hell. Now, I'm not hating on Mickey Gall personally, but I just feel like his attitude, he's too cocky and condescending. But I mean, this is coming from a 100% grade A Punk mark, so take that as you will. But I just feel like, in a way, the fight was kind of like laid out to be a scripted real fight, so to speak. Kind of like with Lesnar and Cena at Extreme Rules 2012, where they had an Extreme Rules match, but Lesnar busted Cena open the hard way with the elbows. It kind of felt like that in terms of how quick it was, and the fact that, Punk didn't really stand a chance with him, and yet he's been training for 2 years to do this. It didn't feel like it was on the up and up. I mean, I know it's supposed to be on the up and up, but just something doesn't resonate right with me. Like something was wrong with it from the start there. Anyway, that's my take on the Punk situation. If you guys don't like my take, just let me know in the comments or anything, but just don't blame me for it. I'm trying to be as nice and cordial as possible because I know there's a bunch of UFC fans out there that are probably talking a lot of shit about Punk that isn't warranted, but I just want to get that out there. Now on to the whole thing with Backlash tonight. It's kind of a small card, but it ought to be interesting. I mean, I'm going in order of what Wikipedia has here. You got Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship on SmackDown. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Naomi versus Natalya versus Nikki Bella for the SmackDown Women's Championship for the first Women's Championship. Now the third match would have been for the tag team titles, but I'll get that in a moment. You have the Usos versus the Hype Bros, which is Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, tag team match to qualify for the tag team tournament final, and that would be Heath Slater and Rhino versus TBD, which is to be decided. The reason for this is even though American Alpha won, the Usos actually turned heel and tore apart Chad Gable, so that forced American Alpha out of the tournament. And then you got Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in a singles match, and then The Miz with Maurice, of course, singles match for the Intercontinental Championship. And now 6 matches on just the one branded show in SmackDown, so it should be a good one. And here's my thoughts on it. Should be a good one, really, and here's my thoughts on it. I'm going based on order of the Wikipedia here. Even though obviously it will be different, but this is just how Wikipedia has it laid out. Ambrose versus AJ Styles. I think that either Dean takes it cleanly with 30 deeds, or somehow there's certain shenanigans with the club crossing over to SmackDown somehow and helping AJ claim the title. I don't know, honestly, at this point. I mean, you might see some brand warfare, may see the club help out his buddy, but I don't know. It could be a clean one-on-one fight. I really have no idea. The second match, Alexa versus Becky versus Carmella versus Naomi versus Natalya versus Nikki. Although I really cannot stand her, even though she's supposed to be a face. I cheer the hell out of Carmella. That's just my opinion. Anyway, here's how I think it'll go. Elimination 1, I think will probably be Nikki tapping out to something. Then Naomi. Then possibly Carmella. I'm not sure exactly. She might win. I'm not sure. This is really just I'm really just going out on a limb here. It might be Carmella next, and then I think Natalya would be like the fourth one, then it would be down to Becky and Alexa. And I really think that Becky takes it via the disarmer. But honestly, Alexa and Carmella really are dark horses. So it could really go to any one of the six. Although if it goes to Nikki, I'm fucking cringing because she already robbed AJ of her record run as Divas Champion, which I refuse to acknowledge to this day. She didn't deserve it, nor did she really earn it, in my opinion, because she didn't defend it for months after beating the East. So I really think that record should not belong to her. That's just me, has my AJ mark shining through there. But anyway, I really can't predict the order of eliminations. I just think that it will be Becky taking the whole thing. But anyway, like I said, I did give you my order of predicting of elimination already, so that last statement is kind of moot. But anyway, next you got the Usos versus the Hype Bros, Zack and Mojo. As much as I'd love to see my boy Zack Ryder get a shot to become the first SmackDown Tag Team Champion, I really think that it'll be the Usos, only to provide a heel-face dynamic. As much as I'd love to see Zack and Mojo have a shot at it, it would be face and face if that happened, and we all know that WWE's too much of pussy cowards to try that. So it'll be the Usos going with the Hype Bros. Now Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos if that were to happen. I fully think that Heath and Rhino will go over because I mean they built up this whole thing like crazy for Heath, and it would just be a major gut punch if Heath went all this way only to fall in the finals. So I think him and Rhino become the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I can't say how long the reign will be, but it ought to be an impressive one. And then you got Randy versus Bray. I think that Randy takes this one possibly to make up for the one-sided TKO loss against Lesnar, but it also could swing Bray's way really. So it really could be either way, but I think when it comes down to it, Bray will finally get a big pay-per-view win. So I'm really torn on that match because it really could go either way. In the sixth match, Miz versus Ziggler for the IC title. While I'm hoping and praying that Dolph takes the belt off Mizzy to just shut him up because he has just been an insufferable heel champion, but he's been great in terms of drawing heat. So I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll keep it with him. But I honestly hope that Ziggy takes it to shut him up. But what I think happens is that Miz will again sneak away with it with interference from Maurice. But that's just my 2 cents. But anyway, those are my Backlash predictions. I probably won't get any of them right at this point because I'm usually famously inaccurate for my predictions unless it's WrestleMania or something. Whereas I got a lot of those right. But who knows? Maybe I'll be right. Anyways, it should be a great show. Hope you all enjoy it, and I hope you all have enjoyed this video. And as always, if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to support me on the channel. And as always, keep it charming. Peace out, folks.